What's up, guys? How's it going? Welcome to the Minute Channel. Today we're going to be discussing something, my thoughts, just the whole thing behind Persona 5 Scramble, and the fact that we haven't received this game yet. So this isn't a bitching video. I'm not complaining or anything like that. I am actually perfectly aware of the situation behind the game and all the stuff that has been going on around the world right now. Obviously, the pandemic going on and all that kind of stuff. So what are my feelings about it? When do I think we're going to get the game? And what's gone from there? What's going to happen from there on and everything? So let's go ahead and jump into it. So Persona 5 Scramble released on Japan earlier this year, I think in February, March, during that time period. So they got that game. The game sold pretty okay on Japan. It also sold pretty well on Asia, which released sometime this year. Now I want to point out one thing about why Asia got the game earlier than us. Asia doesn't get dubs. Asia only gets translation subtitles. That's all they get. So when some people get mad that Asia got it first, guys, they don't get dub or anything like that. They actually just get subtitles and that's it. So it's a different experience. I particularly don't mind whether we get dubs or not. I'm not attached to the dub in any kind of way whatsoever. I play the games in Japanese most of the time, so it doesn't really affect me in any kind of way. However, I know a lot of people are attached to the dub and a lot of people want the dub. In fact, earlier today, I made a or yesterday rather, I made a poll on Twitter and asking, would you guys be okay with not getting a dub and just a translation? And a huge majority of the people say no, they're not okay with that. They want a dub, and I get it in certain aspects because it is part of what they do. It is part of the experience of the Persona games. They already got attached to that kind of dub and everything like that, so I get where they're coming from. I particularly don't really care for one way or the other. Again, I'm a huge fan, but I also used to play the games in Japanese, so at this point I'm not really attached to either or. It doesn't matter to me. As long as I play the games and I get this translation, that's what I really care about. So that's my thoughts on that end. So when do I think we're gonna get Persona 5 Scramble? And I guess this is a really complicated question because of a lot of different stuff. I've seen people mention the Persona 5 anime because that one's dubbed and it was just released recently. I want to mention that because some of the voice actors have actually spoken about this. This project was done way earlier on 2020. In fact, it was started last year. So the dub started way earlier than the Persona 5 Scramble dub started. So don't get your hopes up because we are getting Persona 5 anime. Doesn't mean that we're gonna get this 5 Scramble anytime soon. However, I'm still pretty optimistic again about it. I feel like we're gonna get it sometime this year. I don't know, because we're running out of months really at this point. We're running opportunities for them to announce it and everything like that. So I am still pretty optimistic. I'm still thinking that we're gonna get it this year. However, when exactly, God knows. You know, every time that I talk to a lot of the guys that I know that are connected to the industry, I know a little bit more about it. We all know that this project is being worked on, and we all know that it should have been announced at some point. Who knows what's behind the scenes? Who knows what's going on with us when it comes to this stuff? They maybe COVID hit them a lot harder than we think. We know that 13 Sentinels, which was started before Persona 5 Scramble, had some issues with the dub as well because they actually had to delay the game because of that. So there's a lot of internal stuff going on that I'm sure is going on. I particularly still think that we can get it this year. I think it'll just probably be by the end of the year, maybe earlier next year. But that's my hopes and everything like that. That's what I think about and everything. I want to know what you guys think about this, because this is a discussion worth having. I think that this is an interesting thing to think about. The game is a really good game, and I mentioned this before, but I played the game in Japanese already. If you're interested on it, you can definitely check out the demo. You can definitely buy the game. You can actually go into the store, into the Japanese store or the Chinese store, which I recommend the Chinese store because it's cheaper on the Japanese store, and you still get the original English dub. You can't read anyway, so it doesn't really matter what language you're playing it on. And you can play the whole game. You know, you can buy it for $60 on the Chinese store, so I recommend doing that. I think that this is a good game. It definitely follows up the story well enough. The characters feel well and everything, so I definitely particularly think if you are desperate and you really want to play the game, you can check it out in Japanese. There's some fan translations out there, so you can actually kind of pick up and see what's going on with the story and everything. At least you know what's going on and everything. Personally, I'm not one person to wait for games in English or anything like that. Again, I don't have any particular attachment to them, but I know there's some people out there that are really attached to that dub, that are really attached to the voice actors and everything like that. So in that sense, I totally get it. It's just not really my thing or anything like that, but still really excited for this. I feel there's a lot of people that are losing hope about it. We know the game is coming. I know some people get worried about that, but it's definitely coming, guys. It's coming at some point. It's just a matter of when and what's going on behind the scenes that really feel like Atlas could use maybe a little bit more of transparency when it comes to that stuff. Just kind of letting us know, hey, the game is coming. Here's a quick announcement. We're just having some issues with the dub, or we're just having some issues with translation or something like that. I will be okay with that. Now, there's another thing that I want to discuss that I didn't actually mention until this point. Persona 5 Royal came out on the West, translated on multiple languages. It may be an issue that they're just trying not to only get the translation to English, but also translation to other languages. I don't know. I need to ask this question to other people that know us on the other side of the industry about that, so I'll have to ask them and find out for you. But maybe it may not just be an English issue, but it may be a translation with other countries as well. Remember, all the countries are in different stages of the pandemic and everything, so we don't know how that's affecting them in the industry and everything like that. There's other countries, there's other things going on and everything. Remember, there's no longer Atlas USA, now it's Atlas West, so they're no longer used to you doing United States. They're doing Europe, they're doing things like America as well as some other countries. So Atlas West is now taking care of so many different countries and everything, so keep that in mind as well, guys. Well, I'm very interested, but let me know in the comments below what do you guys think about this. Are you still excited for this game? Do you stop caring about this game? And I saw some reactions where people just don't care about the game anymore, so that's also valid reaction too. Anyways, that's it for today, guys. If you're new, please consider liking and subscribing, and I'll see you guys next time.